In an increasingly competitive world where the guys down the road are selling something very similar to what we are, the key differentiator is not so much what we sell, but how we sell it. It comes down to the relationship that we develop with our clients. We're the fast food generation, right? It's all about get rich quick, get thin now, find the love of your life yesterday. But when I look around me at success, well, what do you see? I see patience. I see that it takes time. And this idea that things happen like that, the click of a finger, just do an affirmation or visualization and watch it emerge, just doesn't seem borne out by reality. I mean, particularly in sales, right? Research tells us that it takes on average 5 exposures to a new product or service before people will buy. 5 exposures. Why? Why? Because we've all got a bit of the stranger syndrome. We're inherently skeptical of new things. And that's probably healthy, because if you are prepared to allow any new person, product, or service into your life, well, if it's a person, for one thing, they could be dangerous. They could be an axe murderer. So you need to get comfortable. And the truth is, as a salesperson, you don't want them to buy instantly, because if they come to you instantly, well, they'll leave you instantly too. It's good that it takes time. It's good that it takes time. No, it's not easy, but if it's easy, somebody else would have already done it. The fact that it's a challenge means that if you're prepared to hang in there, you will be the one that gets the deal. So 5 exposures. What determines whether you'll go through to the 5th exposure? Because research tells us that most salespeople give up after the first. Once they've said no, they go, well, they don't like me, they don't like the product, and they never go back. Well, no doesn't mean forever. God's delays are not God's denials. A lot of sales research has been done on life insurance salespeople, because life insurance is a really tough sales industry to be in. I say life insurance is like New York. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Think about it. You've got to convince somebody to sacrifice part of their salary every single month so that they can be rich when they have an accident and die. Insurance is a powerful product, but it is often a grudge purchase. So MetLife, one of the largest insurance companies in the US, had a problem shared by many of their competitors. They were losing half of their new recruits in the first year. These guys were getting so much rejection that they were just giving up. They were wasting $75 million a year in hiring costs. Enter Dr. Martin Seligman, head of the American Psychological Association. Dr. Seligman hypothesizes the star insurance salespeople will be primarily optimists. What is an optimist? An optimist is somebody who expects the best. They're quick to turn problems into opportunities. Should the optimist fall out the window of a 40-story building, passing by the 20th, it said himself, so far so good. MetLife were a little skeptical, but they allowed Seligman to come in. Amazingly, he found that the most optimistic salespeople sold, get this, 50% more product than their pessimistic counterparts. 50% more product. Why? Why? Because they were simply staying engaged. They weren't giving up. As Jan Smuts said, most people are not defeated. They give up. These guys simply weren't giving up. Why? Because they had a belief system that took the broad frame, as in, this is not forever. This is just a snapshot. This is just a stepping stone on my eventual path to success. Anyone know who the world's greatest salesman of all time is? His name is Joe Gerard. Joe Gerard is still in the Guinness Book of Records for selling more used cars in a week than most people sold in a month. In his best day ever, he sold 18 cars retail one-on-one. This is in the 1960s in America when 2-car families weren't the norm. Well, what did he do? Well, he did a few things, but one of the things that he did is if you did business with Joe, from then on, as long as Joe was in business, you would get a birthday card. Not an SMS, a birthday card, handwritten birthday card from Joe every single year for as long as he was in business, whether you did business with him or not. But 5 years later, when you were looking for a new car, where were you likely to go? Joe. I mean, I thought about the guy who sold me a car 5 years ago. 5 years later, I can't even remember his name. And so, yes, we want to show up, but we also want to acknowledge, because that's what we all want, to feel important. And you might say, yeah, but there are people who do that. Well, then do it differently. Send them the birthday card 1 week before their birthday and say, hey, I just wanted to be the first to wish you. Or connect that birthday message to your product or service, but do it in a fun, original way that is going to stand out. Because if you look like everybody else, you're going to be forgotten like everybody else. You know, the word sell is an interesting one. I'm always intrigued by the origins of words because they tell us a lot more about what that word really means. The word sell comes from the Old English, selan. You know what selan meant? Selan meant to push something on someone that they really, really don't want. No, that's not what selan meant. But by the way that some people sell, you'd think that's what it did mean. In fact, the word selan meant to give. Great salespeople, entrepreneurs, business people are givers. They give value. They give great products. They give great service. They give of themselves. Yeah? And yes, they are rewarded. It's a reciprocal relationship. You see, here's the fundamental law of success, not just in sales, but in life. The best way to get is to give. The best way to get is to give.